Welcome to this week's edition of the I Am Not Worthless podcast. We are now on episode 7. Today we're going to discuss math paradoxes and math puzzles that go beyond what everybody generally thinks of. When you generally think of mathematics, you think of money, time, addition, subtraction, solve for x, draw a circle, blah blah. When in reality there are a lot more interesting things that we actually can work on and explore in mathematics. So first up, we're going to look at the Monty Hall problem, which originated with the original Let's Make a Deal with host Monty Hall, and you can actually watch the new show that started the revival of it back in 2009 with Wayne Brady. That's currently still airing. So the setup is this. You're a contestant. You get picked. He presents you with 3 doors. Behind one is a brand new car. Behind the other 2, goats, pea soup. I mean, pick something, doesn't matter what's behind the other doors. You pick a door. Let's say you pick door number 1. The host already knows where the car is. He knows. So he picks door number 2 and says, open door number 2. It's revealed to be not the car. And then he asks you, do you want to switch to door number 3? Now, your brain is thinking, oh, there's only 2 doors. I got a 50-50 shot. I'm going to win much higher rate now. When in reality, switching doubles your chance. And the reason it works is this. Before you see what's behind any of the doors, each door has a 1 in 3 chance of being the car. Because like you said, 1 door has a car, 2 doors don't. Now if he opens up one of those doors, the odds to the other 2 don't change. They're still 1 out of 3. But because you now know that door number 2 in this case was not a car, that means door number 1 is 1 in 3. Door number 3 is 1 in 3. But because you have that 1 in 3 being invalid, in a way, where you know what it is, those odds now get taken into the 3rd door. Because you chose door number 1, and now it's 1/3 versus 2/3. So you're a 2-to-1 chance of getting the car if you switch. Another way to look at it is that when you started the entire thing, you have a 67% chance to pick the bad prize, quote unquote prize. Goat, if obviously if you wanted to take, I don't know if they'll let you take the goat, but anyway. Now, he reveals one of the bad choices. So if you actually picked the bad prize, if you switch, you win the car 2 out of 3 times. So it's fascinating how when you're given a choice like that, does it affect the outcome? Are you actually going to have a better chance of just sticking with your guns if you know that one of the 3 doors is not the car? Because he's not going to reveal the car. He's not going to go, oh, sorry, door number 2 is the car. Sorry, you lose. No, he's going to give you the illusion of choice. And most people prefer to stick with their original choice when it's actually better to switch. Now, you can see good examples of this on both the show Numbers on CBS, and also Mythbusters did an episode where this was one of the mini myths that they tested. Jamie was the one that did the no switching, and Adam was always switching. And it turns out that in the end, Adam won more than Jamie did. Next up is the prisoner's dilemma. You see it in cop shows, you see it like Law and Order, CSI had it a little bit. Plenty of shows have done it. Basically, there's two suspects. They're placed in separate interrogation rooms. They can't communicate with each other at all. No contact. Basically, they give you each the same choice. Betray. Basically, the cops are going to ask, confess or implicate the other. The resulting actions are either prisoner 1 and prisoner 2 can both stay silent, say nothing. If you both say nothing, you guys both get 1 year in jail. There you go. If you rat your partner out, but he stays silent, so if only one person says he did it, and you don't say a word, your partner, the one who basically gets blamed. So if you rat out your partner and the partner stays silent, you go free. Your partner gets 3 years. If you both say the other person did it, you both get 2 years. Now, the dilemma is trust versus self-interest. Are you going to trust your partner in crime, or are you going to think for yourself? If you both say the other person did it, then you both go to jail for 2 years. If you stay silent, you go to jail for 1. Now, yes, there is a chance that you could go free. There is. But the likelihood is more that you're going to both say that the other person did it. It's also called the Nash equilibrium. And the logical choice usually ends up being that they both rat each other out. And instead, the real best case scenario would be to say nothing, which you actually have seen, I believe, in some shows. And you could see this in the real world when, like, Coke and Pepsi are raising or lowering prices on drinks or bags of chips. You see it when countries do nuclear arms races. You saw it during the Cold War. But you also could see it when you and your friends play a video game, like Mario Party or Mario Kart Racer. You don't know what the other person's going to do. And usually what happens, though, is they won't just do it once. So it just depends on the situation. But ultimately, the best case scenario would always be to stay silent, because then you only serve the lowest number. If you say anything, there's a chance that you either serve nothing, which, yeah, 1 out of 4, and so it's better to just say nothing. So that's the prisoner's dilemma and the Monty Hall one, Monty Hall paradox. The last fun math puzzle is called the birthday paradox. I'm sure most of you have heard of this, but if you have not, it's how many people need to be in a room before you get a 50-50 chance, before you get a 50% chance that 2 people share the same birthday. And most people's intuition is going to be like, well, half of 365 would be roughly 180, so 180. And the actual answer is 23. Now, the reason why is this. The first person comes up, their birthday is 1 out of 365. Or rather, 365 out of 365, because their birthday could be any day of the year. Well, if the second person has to have a different birthday, then their odds of picking out their birthday would be 364 out of 365, because you take out that first person's birthday. And you keep doing that until you get to 23 people. When you multiply those fractions together, you get about 49.3, subtract it from 100, and there you get 50.7. If we had 75 people in the room, the numbers jump up to 99%. So if you had 75 people in a room, you pretty much have a 100% chance 2 people in there have the same birthday. So you're not just matching your birthday to someone. You are trying to see if anybody, any 2 people, have the same birthday. So it's the possibilities. You're combining possibilities. So if, let's say, there's 23 people, well, there's either going to be 23 unique birthdays, which could happen, or 22 unique birthdays and 1 duplicate, or 2, or 3, or 4. And so, and there are many other, what I would call fun mathematical puzzles that, yes, involve math, but you can explore it in a way that's not just, here's a set of numbers, memorize the table, memorize this formula, learn to plug and play, that's it. So, what's great about these paradoxes, these puzzles, is it basically makes us go from just thinking about, here's an apple, here's an orange, here's 2 plus 2, here's, 4 horses, one of the 4 is going to win. And it goes right to the actual, okay, no, this is why that number is right, why that thing is the actual answer. So the question becomes, if you're presented with the Monty Hall paradox, where you're told that behind one door is $1 million, and behind 2 other doors is a punishment, and you picked door number 3, he opens door number 1, he asks you to switch, would you switch? And also, have you met anybody in your life that shared the same birthday as you? I believe I've met a couple people in my life that have had the same birthday as me, different years, obviously, but, and also I kind of can make the joke that there's a CSI episode where the characters that were killed, or the victims in the episode, and the actual several episodes, had the same birthday as me. I thought that was pretty hilarious. Okay, so that will do it for this week's edition of the I Am Not Worthless podcast. Next week we are going to discuss the news in modern gaming that has come out recently, and also what my opinions are of what's going to happen with gaming if things don't change. Thank you so much, and I will see you again next week.